Hey, greetings, Boise State fans. Welcome courtside here. We're dealing with bad internet and not a lot of time, but kind of fitting for how the game went. Boise State falls 72 to 65 in this one to the Wyoming Cowboys. Graham Ike, just too much tonight. 33 points for Wyoming. 10 rebounds. He was just unstoppable tonight for Boise State. Get your questions in, get your comments in, and we will get those on the screen here. We're going to hear from Coach Leon Rice. We're going to hear from Abu Kijab as well. Again, Boise State falls. The 14-game winning streak comes to an end tonight. You knew it was probably going to end at some point. And Colin, I just sent Leon Rice over to you. Should be coming in a couple seconds. So we'll see. Probably not going to have the viewership we usually do for a win after this one, but we got some highlights, and just disappointing for Boise State. You knew the streak would come to an end at some point, but Abu Kijab did all he could for Boise State. Obviously, 26 points for him, but no one else really stepped up. Let's see if Emmanuel Acott, did he finish scoring? He had 2 points, and Mladen Armouche had 3. So you get 5 out of Armouche and Acott, and Shaver stepped up at the end, but didn't do much for much of the game. 9 points for him. But again, just too much. Graham Ike, 33 points for him. There really wasn't a lot Boise State could do to stop him. He goes 9 for 15 at the foul line, 12 of 23 from the field. So just super impressive what was done by Wyoming tonight. Had a nice crowd. They were into it. They were loud, and just not much Boise State could have done. Late in the game, we've been so accustomed to Boise State making these big plays late in the game, and they just couldn't do it tonight. So get your questions in, get your comments in. I'm going to be handing this over momentarily to Colin Mitchell, our associate reporter that you see there on the screen. Don't have a lot of time here. Got to get out of here, but we're going to hear from Leon Rice and Abu Kijab, and we've got highlights as well. And we want to get all of your comments and questions, and Colin can run through those. But yeah, you knew they'd lose at some point, that they were not going to win every game the rest of the season. And this is not really a game that hurts you. And the Ken Palm numbers and things like that, it's really not a game that's going to hurt you too bad from that perspective. So you do lose the game. But again, I'm trying to fix the glare here. Not sure if I can do anything about that. But again, you lose the game, but I don't think it's going to hurt you in the computer numbers or any of that kind of stuff moving forward. So it's not a bad loss. It's a quad 1 loss. It's a quality loss. And now you try to flip the page quickly to San Jose State next week, Saturday. Less than 48 hours. You play San Jose State Saturday. Then next week you got UNLV, Colorado State at home. So that's the nice thing. You got 6 of 9 at home for Boise State moving forward, and 3 in a row here, 4 out of 5, 6 of 9 to finish the season. So if you're Boise State, hopefully you can get those home games going and get it going. But it was it's 1 loss. It's not a big deal. You just got to move forward. You knew the streak was going to end at some point. Dayton Robinson says they stayed at 30 in Ken Palm. So if that's updated, that's pretty good for Boise State. So again, 33-10 for Graham Ike. Not much you could do about that, and just a tough night for Boise State. So let's hear from Abu Kijab. We'll hear from Abu Kijab first, Colin. Then we can play some highlights. Then we can hear from Coach Rice. Get your comments, your questions in. Here's Abu Kijab after the Boise State loss. Tonight.
Tough loss for us. They out-battled us, but we have to get back in the lab and just work on our stuff.
What was the difference in the second half? The crowd was getting into it. I mean, you guys have been making those plays down the stretch during the win streak.
It's a make or miss league. Sometimes you just miss and you can't get stops at the other end, and that's what happened tonight.
Well, what is kind of the mindset? I mean, like I said, you probably knew you weren't going to win every game, but you stay positive after a game like this? Or?
Yeah, for sure. You got to take it one game at a time, one day at a time. That's what we've been doing. That's what we're going to continue to do. So can't defer from that.
How difficult did things get when Mladen and Tyson got into foul trouble?
It was really tough because it kind of messed up our rotations, but it's a part of the game, and we just got to do a better job of adjusting.
I think the last game you guys played against Wyoming, those last 11 minutes, it seemed like you had a little bit of an answer for Ike. I mean, what did he do tonight differently?
He was doing the same stuff. He was just making his shots tonight. That's all it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How hard is he scored 30-something points. How hard is it trying to defend him?
Definitely really hard to defend him. I thought we had a pretty good game plan, but he played a hell of a game. But I give him some credit.
Is it tough, too? Because a couple times you guys did decide to double him, then they had open threes. I mean, is it kind of give and take there?
Yeah, it's a little give and take, but it happens. A guy's going off like that, you obviously want to shut his water off. And he did a good job of finding his teammates and hit his shots, big shots.
What do you make of the 14-game streak and just trying to put this one behind you?
It is what it is. It was fun while it lasted, but we still our main goal is to win that Mountain West championship and get to the NCAA tournament and make a deep run. So we're going to continue to just focus on that.
And how do you kind of, a quick turnaround to Saturday, how do you kind of put this one and not let it linger, moving forward?
Watch film, get better tomorrow, rest, get in practice, get your shots up before the next game. So just one day at a time always. Go ahead.
When you see two starters go down, did you kind of take it upon yourself to be like, all right, I got to kind of step up a little bit and get some buckets?
No, I never think about it like that. I always think about making the right play, and whatever the right play is at that moment, that's what I always try to make. So that's how I play my game.
You guys still, kind of battled back there. It's just gotten to the point where, you get down three with about a minute left, and it's like, you're almost expecting the miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys kind of in that same mindset today?
We didn't plan on it. It kind of just happens, but it's a part of the game, and we've done a really good job finishing our games, and this one we just did it, and it happens to the best teams in the world. So we just gotta get better from it.
I know you guys leave here disappointed, but is it easy to look at what you did, know there's still a lot of games left, and you still feel pretty good about where you guys are at?
Yeah, we're still in first place in the conference, and still got a lot of games left, and they have a lot of games left as well. So we just got to continue to take it day by day, put in the work, and the results will take care of themselves when the time comes.
All right, Bronco fans, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. My name's Colin Mitchell. BJ Rains just checked in earlier in the show. He had to leave Laramie now. The internet situation wasn't great there, and he also just had to get back home. So we won't be seeing from him tonight, but we did get some quotes from Coach Leon Rice as well as Abu Kijab. Got some highlights coming up shortly. Get your comments in. Obviously, at some point, it was going to come to an end. Nobody wanted that to be tonight, I don't think, if you're a Bronco fan. But 14 straight definitely seems like Abu and the rest of the team are really holding their heads high. Graham Ike, 33 points and 10 boards. Just a dominant presence. I saw a comment earlier. Let's see. So it was, do you think if Degenhart guarded like that all night, we win? Also, what did you see on the fifth foul? Graham Ike, he draws the most fouls in the country, I believe, is what they said. If not, he's very, very close to the top in that. So, no, I don't think it necessarily changes the game that much. I think you have to keep switching on guys to keep people out of foul trouble. And Tyson did a great job for a while there. Definitely some ticky-tack fouls. Don't really see any recourse from the Mountain West with that. I think it was definitely to a certain extent going both ways. I don't think it was one-sided at all. Don't think they were great, but definitely thought it went both ways. And, Kijab was impressive, as same with the last time against Wyoming, 26 points, 5 rebounds. Degenhart played great, double-digit scoring, fell out at the 4:23 mark, like I said, right after they took the lead. And that's when definitely it started to get the air out of the ball for the Broncos. And we'll look at some highlights here. Keep getting your comments in. We'll see. That wasn't the home broadcast. Stadium had their announcers for this one. I'm not positive with that because on the app it did say Wyoming Vision. The sideline reporters also were wearing they had the Wyoming mic flags as well. The announcers were good, though. I thought the only hiccup they really had was saying that Acott wasn't a perimeter shooter. I was a little bit confused with that. But overall, definitely I thought it wasn't as one-sided as the Utah State game, even though they technically had their right to be as it was the Wyoming broadcast. But we'll look at some highlights here.
Did a good job. Here's arm rush down the lane, put it up and in, and a foul.
And that was the N1 by Armouche. And then there's Kijab again with another N1.
Backing him down. Looking to go middle, now spins baseline, little right hand, sneaks it in.
EK was just dominant all night. There was a couple bank threes. The bank was open in Laramie. I don't know what their hours there, but
fade away from 12. Good. He's worked.
Nice shot from Maldonado there. And Maldonado, this was definitely a shift in the momentum here to start the second half. Boise went on a run and they went to tie it. There's Tyson for three. And that's where they took the lead. And then Tyson fouls out right after this, and then they hit a three, and there you go. Jeffers only finished with 5 points. 2 of those are free throws, and he's their spot up guy. So it was, you'd think Boise would be a little bit, within 7 points they lost, but A lot of those are free throws at the end. And keep getting your comments in. There we go. I think it went. Yeah, definitely, James. You're right. I think it went both ways, but you can't foul a player out like that. It was very, very ticky-tack, and it looked like he really didn't want to foul at all. He wasn't necessarily getting out of the way, but he was playing that straight-up presence to where the referee almost knows he doesn't want to foul, and it is what it is at this point. There's nothing the Broncos can do besides look at their next game against San Jose State, their next 9 games to finish the season before the Mountain West Tournament. And, I mean, let's look at this stretch. You got San Jose State at home. You're going to have a lot of home games to finish the year. So San Jose State, UNLV, Colorado State, all in the next week-ish, starting on February 5th, and they go about a week straight of games. Then you travel to Air Force, back-to-back home games again, Utah State and San Diego State. Then you travel to Las Vegas, Reno, and finish the game at Colorado State, which is probably going to be a really big one. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Lithia Fort of Boise postgame show. Boise State dropped to Wyoming 72-65, snapping a 14-game win streak for the Broncos. And let's hear from Coach Leon Rice to hear what he had to say after the game.
Leon, obviously, Ike was giving you guys some problems tonight. How hard is he to stop?
Oh, he's a handful. And, man, his ball goes in, and he's aggressive. And, in this place, he gets a lot of free throws. I mean, that's been consistent. He gets 15 free throws. That's tough to, that's a tough thing. And we were running some different guys at him, different coverages, and he's becoming a better and better player as the season goes on.
We knew this was going to be one of those games again that comes down to the wire, and sure enough, 2-3 minutes left, you're right there again.
Yeah, we were right there, and I think the difference in this game is, in those other wins, we maybe didn't play an A+ game a whole game, but we've played an A+ last 2 or 3 minutes. And tonight, losing Tyson on that play, that was a hard one, because he's made plays for us down the stretch, and we screwed up something later because we didn't have him, kind of thing. But that's so what now. You got to adjust, and you got to keep going. But we didn't have our regular A+ last 3 minutes or last 2 minutes or whatever you want to say, and that's in a game like that's what's enabled us to win all these games. And tonight, we missed front end, we missed a free throw. Shave almost had the and one that didn't go in, and Boo had one too. If those go in, you're right there. So, fine line between winning and losing, and we haven't felt that pain in a long time. And so it was good for our guys. The way I love that locker room in there, the way we responded, and the way we were. And the thing about this league is, you look historically, no one's ever got out unscathed. We've had number 1 seeds, in this league. No one's ever finished this season 18-0 or whatever it's been. And not that we never had an intention to lose, that's for sure. This team didn't ever think they could, and that's what's been good about it. But when the dust settles, you're 8-1. You've ran a gauntlet that nobody else has ran yet, with where we've had to play and what we've accomplished there. And so now it's just, you've seen these games. Every night's going to just be a battle. Every night's going to be monster games, and we got to get back to finding our way to win those last 3 minutes like we've been doing.
You haven't had to give a locker room speech on this end.
Yeah,
since
I don't
November.
miss those. Yeah.
What do you kind of tell them to, knowing like what you're
well,
feeling?
We've won 14 straight, I think it is, and we've won them together. Well, that's how we lost tonight. We lost together, and each one of us. That's the beauty of this team is, starting with me. There's things I could have done better. There's things every one of us could have done just a little bit better, and we have down, in these other games. And we regroup. We've got to flush this quick. We don't have much time because we got to fly home. We got to get our bodies right. It's hard playing here at altitude, and with a short bench, and then foul trouble, and there's some things we'd like to have done for 40 minutes that you can't really do in Laramie. And I've learned that the hard way sometimes, and with the guys we have and the situation we're in, you know, like they're not, you know, we saw some of that at the end. But credit to Wyoming, they did a great job. They're a good team. You know, they're undefeated here. There's a reason.
Were you pleased with how everyone else stepped up when Mladen and Tyson got into foul trouble?
Yeah, and that's tough. Like losing Tyson down the stretch and having Mladen, you know, in foul trouble all night. We got to get more out of Mladen. You know, he's a better offensive player than what he's been doing. No, and can't play 5-on-4. He's you know, he's had these games where he's been a monster. We need him. We need him to be that down the stretch.
You were as animated as I've seen you in a while, especially early in the game.
Right.
I'm not trying to bait you into saying anything about the officiating, but just in a game like that with the crowd, and it seemed like a lot of soft contact. And
there's some things I felt I had to get right, and that's my job to get that right. And that's about all I have to say about that.
And how do you, I mean, just with this team and being able to put this behind you, said you don't have much time, but I mean, are you confident that this is a team that's not going to, this won't carry over to Saturday? I mean, how do you put this behind you and flush it? And you haven't had to worry about it.
Everybody come out Saturday and we'll see. We need, you know, the thing we're excited for though is these guys have done a great job. We've sold some tickets. We got people coming. People appreciate how hard these guys play, and we need them right now. I mean, it's just been, you know, you've been on these trips with us, BJ, and seen this up close. And every night's been like this. Every night's been just a battle, and every night's been a, you know, crusade. And tonight, we had to battle some things that we haven't had to battle maybe on the road as much, and we didn't have enough to overcome.
A lot of battles indeed, and they won 14 battles in a row and lost that 15th. And definitely Ryan commenting, I feel like we're in a good spot between San Jose State, UNLV, Air Force Academy, and Nevada. Those all should be wins. Pick up a few between SDSU, USU, or Utah State, and Colorado State. And you've already won at San Diego State. You already won at Utah State. So you get those two teams at home, and they are back-to-back. Colorado State, we have not seen. We'll see that Super Bowl Sunday. So that's about in a week and a half here. But you just can't lose. So you have 9 games left. I would say you win 7 out of those 9, you're probably in a good spot. However, 2 of those losses cannot come from San Jose State. They can't come from Air Force. They can't really even come from Nevada. And maybe you can drop it at UNLV. But there's a lot of different things to think about, and I don't want to get too skeptical too early about what they have to win and what they don't. And I'm sure they're taking it one game at a time themselves. It's been their motto for a while now. But yeah, I mean, you look at that, and it's a tough game losing at Wyoming, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't kill their tournament hopes, and I think they're going to go home on that charter and be happy to play on Saturday with what seems to be a really good crowd. And I think it'll be good. David says Boise by 10 on Saturday. Strong bounce back. Corey says by 25. I'm curious to see how Las Vegas rates that. I'm not really sure. San Jose State's a lot better than prior years, and I think the Mountain West is a lot better as a whole. So that definitely says something. Brian says 6 out of 9 at home. Yes, 6 out of 9. They went through that gauntlet on the road. This was another makeup game that they had to go on the road again. And it's not over, but most of their game, I mean, 6 out of 9 are at home. So they got 3 more road games, one of those being the final game of the season at Colorado State. And this has been the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show. If you want to get any final comments in, questions, let us know, and I'll try to get those answered for you. And we'll go through these highlights one last time before we go off the air.
Did a good
Pull
job.
these up real quick. So there's Anush. There's another N1. We talked about Xavier Dussel making something. You thought maybe he was making those ticky-tack fouls. You really didn't know. And we talked in the pregame show, we said for the first to 70 we'll win, and it was 72-65. Obviously, it's not that much of a hot take. It's typically if you score 70 points in a game, especially in the defensive battle, you're probably going to win that game.
In the huddle, Jeff Linder told his
Here's
group,
Tyson.
"Guys,
That was
we
just an
cannot
absolutely
beat
huge three.
Broncos with a chance to take a lead, and Shaver blows by everybody and does give it to him.
Can't believe there's a couple Shaver buckets where he just had so much space. Jeffries finally hit it. And there you have it. And this has been the Lithia Fort Boise postgame show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, it probably wasn't the maybe the outcome that you wanted, but definitely bounce back. You got 9 more games in the year, not including that Mountain West tournament. And Bronco Nation News will definitely have it covered throughout the rest of the season. And we're definitely happy to do it. Can't wait for these next couple weeks coming up. And please consider a subscription. If you are not subscribed, you'll get exclusive access, emails with stories before they go out on the website, and all sorts of good stuff. Shout out the Circa Las Vegas. We'll be doing some deals with them. BJ will be tweeting out some more information. I know he mentioned some free drinks, possibly some other stuff, but still finalizing those details. Don't want to give out too much, but it's going to be great. And hopefully we see you on Saturday in Boise. BJ will be there, and I'll be here covering remotely. This has been the Lithia Fort of Boise postgame show on Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.